A tale as old as time plays out daily on the plains of Africa. For mammals, the process of birth has remained unchanged for millennia. The newborn completes the rite of passage, emerging from the safety and security of the womb to the harsh realities of life in the outside world. The newborn is traumatized. It is cold. No longer in its protective, sterile environment, it must contend with the onslaught of potential pathogens all around it. Every instinct in the calf's body drives it to find the one source of nourishment that will soothe the trauma of birth, transfer immune protection from the mother, and jumpstart the process of growth and development. That one source is colostrum, the first milk. And with the exception of humans, no mammals can survive without it. Colostrum is secreted by the mammary gland of female mammals a few days before and after the birth of their young. It is a rich slurry that contains the immune factors, growth factors, vitamins, and minerals that protect the newborn against disease. Colostrum provides support for the immune system, including immune cells such as lymphocytes, as well as antibodies such as IgA, IgG, and IgM. Active antimicrobial agents such as proline-rich polypeptides, or PRPs. These small signaling peptides have antibacterial and antiviral properties. And lactoferrin, a protein that is involved in iron transfer and prevents pathogenic bacteria from gaining access to this necessary element. Growth factors critical for cellular growth, differentiation, and renewal. These include EGF, or epidermal growth factor, and FGF, fibroblast growth factor, that help maintain both gut and skin integrity. Transforming growth factor, or TGF-alpha, stimulates the growth of normal cells. VEGF, or vascular endothelial growth factor, promotes the development of new blood vessels. Our newborn gazelle faces a challenge that humans do not. The newborn has to rise on all fours immediately, begin to walk, and then run in short order, lest it become prey. A hormone known as IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, found in high concentration in colostrum, is an anabolic factor. It helps to build muscle strength and endurance. Humans have similar needs for these immune, antimicrobial, and growth factors. And just as the gazelle must fight to survive each day, humans have their own battlefield. It is the gut, where hundreds of times a day, without you being aware of it, your gut is identifying the substances like nutrients that are friends and letting them inside your body, and those like harmful bacteria or viruses that are foe and keeping them out. The battlefield, the length of the GI tract, is 30 feet long with a surface area of 3,000 square feet and hills and valleys known as villi. Inside the gut is a remarkable array of helpful and potentially harmful bacteria known as the microbiome. In fact, there are 10 times more bacteria than there are cells in our own body. And what is most remarkable, the inside of our GI tract is lined by a single layer of cells. Up until the 1970s, most scientists thought the cells were glued tightly to each other. It was then that Japanese researchers identified a paracellular pathway between the cells, a door between the cells that could allow harmful substances to penetrate the intestinal mucosa and leak into the body. In the mid-1990s, Dr. Alessio Fasano, chairman of pediatric gastroenterology at Massachusetts General Hospital, came across the key that allowed these substances access. He identified a protein known as zonulin that is turned on in the presence of harmful agents, the agents that are responsible for increased intestinal permeability, commonly referred to as leaky gut syndrome. What are these agents? For the most part, they are foreign proteins, the most common of which is gluten found in wheat. Humans did not evolve to eat this protein. Only in the last 10,000 years, a mere fraction of our time on Earth, have we cultivated crops. The problem arises when the large undigested protein fractions leak into our bloodstream. The problem is best expressed by Dr. Fasano when he stated, "The gut is not like Las Vegas. What happens in the gut does not stay in the gut. Once inside the body, these foreign, undigested proteins may initiate autoimmune reactions and inflammation in people with an underlying genetic predisposition. Autoimmune diseases linked to the gut include conditions such as celiac disease, Crohn's, rheumatoid arthritis, eczema, cancer, and neurological disease. While gluten is a major offending agent, it is not the only one. Our modern civilization is waging a war on the GI tract, disrupting the microbiome balance and increasing intestinal permeability. Other foes in this battle include our growing reliance on antibiotics and the increase in antibiotic resistance. Prolonged exposure to antibiotics alters the bacterial mix in our gut and increases susceptibility to infection. Pain medications. More than 30 million Americans take non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medicines, NSAIDs, every day. These over-the-counter drugs, along with prescription opiates, can cause a variety of injuries to the lining of the gut. Glyphosate, the main ingredient in the weed killer Roundup. This compound has been shown to affect the balance of gut bacteria, as well as interfere with important minerals and enzymes in the gut. Our Western diet, high in simple carbohydrates and fat, can affect both metabolism and immune function in the gut. Is there a way to restore the health of the gut, help to repair the barrier, strengthen the immune system, all the while providing the body with what it needs? One man's struggle may hold the answer to these questions. Over a quarter century ago, Douglas Wyatt faced a crisis. His beloved wife Kay was dying, and there was little that modern medicine could do. In fact, modern medicine was to blame for her condition. Her family doctors in the 1950s used cobalt to irradiate her thymus, thinking that would help reduce and cure viral infections. Without her thymus, she was unable to produce enough T cells to combat infections. For her health and longevity, Wyatt turned to the healing powers of bovine colostrum.
Well, first of all, you're not an infant anymore. And we don't want human colostrum. You can't get it. So where are we going to get colostrum? We're going to have to get this from dairy cows. And fortunately, the cow's colostrum has been proven to be 100% bioidentical to human.
Bovine colostrum is naturally high in the immune, antimicrobial, and growth factors that contribute to gut health. Wyatt's belief is increasingly being supported by both research and clinical practice, showing the effectiveness of bovine colostrum. Dr. Wiggy Saunders, an integrative medicine doctor, discusses his approach to prescribing bovine colostrum.
I recommend bovine colostrum for really two kinds of patients. One type of patient is the type of patient that has some form of immune system dysfunction, because there are so many wonderful immune balancing and supportive nutrients in the colostrum. So I would use this in patients that have some degree of immune dysfunction, like autoimmune disease. We're also using it a lot more for patients with a chronic infection, because it does seem to help modulate the immune system. The other kind of patient that we use this for are those that need the repairing and the rebuilding side of the colostrum. So this is actually really useful for athletes and for anti-aging purposes, for the elasticity of the skin, but it's also good for, again, the repairing. So those that have problems from an injury on the inside or outside, it does help repair, like leaky gut. It also helps repair muscle or other injuries.
But in order to have colostrum do the job, it has to have the growth factors all intact and all of the immunofactors. And there's only one company in the world that has built a plant that processes the colostrum in a manner that all of these are there in its end product, and that tests for these to prove it, and standardizes these and puts it on its label that it's standardized at pharmaceutical grade levels, and that's Sovereign Laboratories. And secondarily, it's important to have a liposomal delivery system of colostrum, otherwise the colostrum is just digested and it's destroyed in an adult. And so liposomal delivery allows colostrum to be protected during ingestion, delivers it into the bloodstream and all the way down to the cellular level.
While bovine colostrum sounds a bit like a miracle drug, it is important to know that not all colostrum is equal. There are few products that stand the test of time, few products that deliver all the ingredients that the body needs for health and healing. Colostrum is one of them. We can look to the plains of Africa or the birthing centers in America to witness the benefits of colostrum. We can gain these benefits by taking bovine colostrum LD from Sovereign Laboratories.